How good are the DLC trucks in a SnowRunner? Which one is truly a great truck and can help you a lot in the game, and which one is awful? Well, in this video, we're gonna rank all the standalone DLC trucks in a SnowRunner from worst to best.
At number 14, we have Land Rover Dual Pack.
So, in my opinion, Scouts are not as useful as actual trucks in a SnowRunner. And the two Land Rover cars are awful even among the Scouts in this game. You know, I think like 97% of Scout vehicles in a SnowRunner are better than these two. Both of these cars have really small tires. They don't have that much ground clearance. They are some of the worst cars to use for off-roading, and the handling of these two cars is just terrible.
It's very difficult to control Land Rover Defender 90 when you're going a bit fast.
Land Rover Defender 110 is better in terms of handling, but it's not that great. There is only one special thing about these two cars. You would get stuck in some places that you never thought you could even get stuck. These cars are just good for people who love Land Rover cars. Other than that, they are awful.
Number 13. Jeep Dual Pack.
With this DLC, you get your hands on Jeep Wrangler and Jeep CJ7 Renegade. Now, Jeep CJ7 Renegade is basically like Land Rover Defender 110. It's very bad. Small tires, no ground clearance, and on top of that, you don't even have a good engine. So Renegade is not that good either. A SnowRunner is kinda a difficult game, but if you want it to be even more difficult, you could use Jeep CJ7 Renegade. But Jeep Wrangler is a bit better. You have 36-inch tires, which is not that great. There are many Scouts that have even bigger tires, but it's not at least unusable. So you could use Wrangler for some scouting or pull a scout trailer if you want. And overall, it's not a bad choice. It's good in easier regions. But we have many scout vehicles that are way better. At number 12, we have Con 39 Marshall. Con Marshall is a fantastic truck. It's very capable, but now it has a very small fuel tank. Even with the extra fuel that you have on the roof rack, you probably would run out of fuel before you're done scouting. And another thing that is not good about this vehicle is you cannot attach any trailers to this car. Con Marshall is a good vehicle for scouting if you have access to fuel stations. Number 11. Chevrolet Apache. Apache is a very capable scout. You have access to 44-inch mud tires and an extra 200 liters of fuel. Compared to Jeep and Land Rover DLC, this thing is way better, but it has some flaws too. First, it's a bit fuel thirsty. Now that's not a big problem because you have so much extra fuel, but you cannot use this truck for refueling other trucks. The next thing is you cannot attach any trailers to this truck, and when you turn off the all-wheel drive, the power would go to the front wheels, which in my opinion it's a bit odd. The power should go to the rear axles. At number 10, we have Rezvani Hercules. This truck is like Chevrolet Apache, but a bit less capable, but it's more fuel efficient. You have access to more repair parts, you have access to more fuel, and when you turn off the all-wheel drive, the power goes to the rear wheels. But again, like Apache, you cannot attach trailers to this truck either. This vehicle is good for both scouting and repairing or refueling other trucks.
At number 9, we have Kenworth W990. This truck is a big disappointment. It's a very good looking truck, it has a very powerful engine, but it doesn't have all-wheel drive and it has a dead axle. So that dead axle makes it very difficult to drive on bumpy ground or driving on rocks. And because you don't have all-wheel drive, you probably would get stuck. You know, if they add all-wheel drive for this truck would have been so much better than what it is right now. but currently it's almost unusable. It's not a capable truck at all. Number 8. GMC Brigadier 8000. Now this truck is not like insanely good, but it's full of surprises. First, add-ons. You have access to so many different add-ons with this truck. And you can have so many different combination of add-ons too. And even though it's not a big truck, it supports crane, bed and trailer combo. Now the off-road capabilities of this truck is not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. It's average, so you can use it most of the times. But something that I wanna say is why the JAT tires are not available for this truck. That's kind of weird in my opinion. Majority of trucks have the JAT tires, but this one doesn't. Number 7. Navistar 5000. This truck is very good for hauling heavy cargos. Even though it doesn't have diff lock, it's capable enough to go through some deep mud. With this truck, you have access to a good engine and 49-inch OHD tires. And you have access to only 4 add-ons: saddle high, saddle low, log carrier front, and a crane. You know, this truck is fantastic for pulling trailers, but not having access to other add-ons is kind of the downside of this truck in my opinion. At number 6, we have Western Star 49X. This truck is decent in mud. It's fast, you have access to so many add-ons, it supports crane, bed and trailer combo, and it has decent stability. Overall, there is nothing special about this truck. It has that dead axle that could be a problem sometimes, but unlike Kenworth W990, it has all-wheel drive.
Number 5. The Anniversary DLC. With this DLC, you can have CAT CT681 and International HX 520. First of all, the best thing about this DLC is it's free, so you can just add these 2 trucks to your game. And the second thing is they are not actually bad trucks. Both of them are average trucks, they get the job done. And even if you didn't like them, you can just sell the trucks in the game, make some money to buy another truck. So this DLC genuinely just makes things easier for you. It gives you 2 good trucks that even if you don't like to use them, you can just sell them and buy another truck. Now these 2 trucks again are not that bad, but I think the biggest flaw of these 2 trucks is the ground clearance. They don't have that much ground clearance. A raised suspension upgrade would make them way better. At number 4, we have one of my favorite trucks in the game, a Step Crocodile. This small truck is so amazing. It handles so good and it's capable enough to go through some deep mud, and you can use it for both scouting or delivering some cargo. You know, these type of trucks in my opinion are way better than the normal scouts that we have. At least you have access to more add-ons, so you can do more things with these vehicles. But other scouts, even the very good ones, there is only one thing that you can do with them, scouting, that's it. But with trucks like this, you have access to way more add-ons, so you can do way more things. And out of the small trucks, this one is probably the best one. The only downside of this truck is it's a bit fuel thirsty, but you have extra fuel on the roof rack and at the back of the sideboard bed. And on top of that, you can attach trailers to this truck too. So overall, it's a good vehicle. Number 3, the Western Star Wolfpack. With this DLC, you can get your hands on Western Star 47X NF1430, NF1424, and Western Star 57X. Let's start with 57X. It's a semi-truck that is not that capable, unfortunately. It doesn't have good ground clearance and it doesn't have diff lock. You have access to all-wheel drive, but it's not that capable. Navistar is a way better truck than this one. Now, 47X NF1424. With this one, you have all-wheel drive and diff lock. It's a capable truck and it's a very fast truck, and you have access to some add-ons. You have the good ones. This truck is overall a good choice. It's an average truck. It's a small and it has good maneuverability, so it's a good choice for pulling semi-trailers. And on top of that, you have a roof rack with extra fuel and repair parts. Now 47X NF1430. With this truck, you don't have diff lock, you have only all-wheel drive, but even without the diff lock, it's a capable truck. You have access to OHD tires, and because of its long frame, you have access to good amount of add-ons, and you can have different combination of add-ons. So overall, 2 trucks out of 3 are good, and the other one is below average. At number 2, we have the Tatra Dual Pack. With this DLC, you would get Tatra T813 and Tatra 805. The T813 is a very capable truck. It's slow a bit, but it's very capable. It has a very big fuel tank with extra fuel on the roof rack, and it has a good engine. At the beginning of your journey, this truck could be a big help for you, and even when you have unlocked many trucks, this one is still a viable choice. The only downside of this truck is you don't have many add-ons. You don't even have a crane. But other than that, it's a good truck.
Now, Tatra 805 is similar to a Step Crocodile, but it's a bit smaller and less capable. You can use this truck for scouting or delivering some cargo, and you can attach trailers to this truck too, but I don't think it's a very good idea. Overall, this truck is average, it's not insanely good. And at number 1, of course, we have Zeekr 612H. Let me tell you something. Other than this truck, all the other trucks on this list are not something special. Most of them are average or even below average, but this one is insanely good. This is the special one. This is one of the best trucks in the whole game. This truck would make things easier for you, and it has everything you need. A very powerful engine. This truck is extremely capable. It has so many different add-ons, and you have a very big fuel tank with extra fuel. Out of the DLC trucks, no truck is even close to this one. So if you want to buy a truck that is actually good, you should buy Zeekr 612H. And that's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.